All right, guys, welcome. Yuri Elkaim here, and I'm with Steph and Jackie today. Another Between the Ears session. Jackie was on a cruise last week, so she's back in the saddle this week with us. Amy just had LASIK eye surgery last week, so her eyes, she's like Cyclops from X-Men now, I think. So she's out of commission for a day. We're going to be talking about an important topic today. I think it's a great discussion for kind of the new year, being kind of the time this is being released. Is when are you going to start, right? When are you going to start? And this applies as appropriately to those of you who are clients of ours, as well as those of you listening on the podcast or watching this somewhere else who are not clients of ours. So here's the thing, guys. Whether you start now or you start later, at some point you're going to start. And all that matters is how much are you willing to tolerate your current situation before it bubbles up and boils over. And for some people, that might mean 10 more years. And you can take this to your workouts. You can take this to your dietary changes. You can take this to growing your business. You can take it to whatever area of life you want to improve in. And what it's going to come down to is, are you going to start now or are you going to start at some later point in the future? So Jackie, Steph, let's jump into this. And I want to, let's start off with maybe some of the perspectives you guys have gotten from like people we speak to on a weekly basis, like people who are inquiring about working with us, and then they're like, like not now, later, whatever. Anyways, Steph, I know this is kind of fresh for you. So what are some of the insights for you that are top of mind as we discuss this?
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting to me because we talk to many people during the week who are interested in the Health Business Accelerator course. And they say things like, I can't possibly do this for another year. I hate what I'm going through. I'm not making the money. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Yet there's still a piece of them that's like, but I want to wait. But I want to wait a little longer. And this is a funny thing that you shared this with us. It's almost like the money so you said something along the lines of the money that you're not making is really the biggest cost to your business. Yep. And that's what I think a lot of people aren't understanding, that if you're wanting to make, let's say, $10,000 a month, but you're currently only making $3,000 a month, well, then all of that money you're not making is actually the biggest expense to your business. And especially, and I think the biggest expense also is, for example, there's a lot of people who just are burnt out going into the clinic every day, or they're burnt out trading time for money, right? Because you can only see so many patients, you can only see so many clients. Yet there's still something blocking them from starting. And it's like, you already are hating where you're at. So get started now so you can get to a new place sooner. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Well, as we talked about before, it's going to come down to fear and uncertainty. Those are the two biggest things that are going to kill people from moving forward. But let's talk about that example you just brought up, because we did talk about this last week. The biggest cost in your business, guys, is the money you're not making. And we use the example of, if someone wants to come in and work with us and we ask them, okay, how much money do you want to make? Let's say they say, I want to make $10,000 a month. That's awesome. Great. How long have you wanted to make that amount of money? And the person says, well, I've been wanting to make this for the past year. And let's say they're at $2,000 a month. So here's the thing is, the real cost of that is you've wanted to be making $10,000 a month for the past 12 months. That's $120,000 in lost opportunity. That's the real cost of your business. That's the cost of inaction, guys. And I want you to take this seriously, because this is not Mickey Mouse, man. This is your life. You are at a point now. It doesn't matter if it's January or August. Like, every day is the new year for us, okay? How much longer are you willing to tolerate losing out on making that kind of money, if we're just talking about finances here for a second? Like, the thing is, like, you have to get so associated with that it makes you sick to your stomach. Because here's what most people think about: is that I want to achieve this goal, but I'm scared because I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't know if I can afford it. But what you really can't afford, the real cost of you not doing anything, is staying where you're at and not getting the results. And you have to viscerally, on a daily basis, get connected to that. Otherwise, nothing you do is going to make any difference in your business or in your future. You're not going to be any further ahead a year, 5 years, 10 years from now if you don't get viscerally disgusted by your current situation. Seriously, guys, like, pain is a very, very important motivator. And if you don't have enough pain to move forward, You're going to stay exactly where you are because comfort, we all want comfort. And you cannot grow from a place of comfort. I can tell you that because this morning I wanted to get out of bed at 5. I got out of bed at 6. Why? Because I was more comfortable in my bed. And it's the worst. Like, I hate that moment in my life where it's like every morning I'm like, man, I just want to stay in my bed. I just want to stay in my bed. That moment of time where I'm laying down is the worst time in my day. But as soon as I stand up, everything's great. Right? And so for me, it's like, when are you ready to get started, dude? You're going to get out of bed anytime at some point during this day. Do it now. Just get out. You're going to feel so much better for having gotten up earlier. So anyways, cost of not doing what you want to do, guys, is the biggest cost in our business. The money you're not making. Jackie, what about you?
Yeah, so that's one that definitely pops up. But another one that drives me bonkers, honestly, is getting ready to get ready, right? A lot of times I'm on the phone and they're like, well, yeah, this sounds great. But once I know my client better, or once I complete my 8-week course, or once I get all the details out and down and just right, or once this happens, right? It's kind of like the shoulda, coulda, woulda. When people are oncing all over themselves, I'm just like, well, what's going to change when that happens? And when is that going to happen? And what proven strategy are you going to use to make sure that gets done sooner than later? And then they're like, I don't know, right? So when I throw it back, so I basically say you're going to wait to get started until you get all your ducks in a row, but you don't know how to do that part. And they're like, well, yeah, that sounds a little ridiculous. I'm like, okay, now let's revisit a proven strategy, some coaching and accountability, and we're going to give you the right areas to focus on to get this done in 4 to 6 weeks to 10 weeks. Excuse me, I'm about ready to sneeze or whenever. So, that part drives me a little crazy because, at the end of the day, like you said, Yuri, once you get out of bed and get going, you're going. That's your momentum, right? And if you look at Warren Buffett, or if you look at Bill Gates, if you look at all these successful people in the world, what it boils down to is focus, right? What are they focusing on? So you're going to continue to get what you're focusing on. If the results you're getting you don't like, focus on something else. Focus on a new strategy, because obviously what you're doing isn't getting you where you want to go. So when we bring it back to simplicity of focus, and maybe you don't know what that is to focus on, we can help you with that. With the Health Business Accelerator Workshop, we have a roadmap, we have systems, we have strategies, we have accountability, we have plethora of coaching, right? So it's really getting people out of the fear and into an area of a community where they know what they need to be focusing on and they have that support.
Yeah, totally. We've all heard the famous saying, like, there's the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. And I don't think any of us want to get to the end of our lives with the pain of regret, because that's something we experience on a daily basis. I should have done this. I wish I got up earlier. I wish I got this done. Guys, like, as you said, Jackie, it's all about fear. Like, everything is fear. And if you understand that and just know that it's never going to go away. And it's the same reason why there's only a small percentage of people who succeed in business. When you look statistically, the percentage that make $1 million, the percentage that make 10 million, it's like 0.01% of all businesses. And there's common traits between success, whether we're talking about in sports, business, life. It's all the same stuff, guys. It's all the same stuff. And the one thing that I've noticed over my life is that those who succeed in any aspect of their life just have courage. That's all it is. Because you're stepping into the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. We can't guarantee you specific results. We can promise you we're going to bust our ass off to help you. But I'll tell you this past weekend I was in our online portal and I look at all of our clients. I'm like kind of a stalker because I want you guys to win. And I was shocked by how few people have actually gone through the trainings in the portal. I'm like, and this is a coaching program that people pay good money to be part of. And I was like, what is it going to take? Like, what's it going to take to spend half an hour, 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day to go in and do this stuff every single day? And this is the same reason why when, we don't really recommend people sell courses, because left to their own devices, as we've seen here, humans are going to do nothing, right? Even the most motivated humans need coaching and support. Right? But left to their own devices, most humans are not going to do much. And it's sad. So it comes back down to what's holding you back? What are you afraid of? Why do you need to get things perfect? It's never going to happen, right? Perfect is like, It's like the guy who's, I remember when I was training back in the day, clients, and I remember having consults with people. They're like, I really want to hire you as a trainer, but I think I'm going to get in shape first, and then we'll do some sessions. I'm like, that is completely backwards, right? I mean, so if you're watching this and you're a client of ours or not a client of ours, remember, you are coaching clients. Like, you are coaching people. You're going to be speaking to them on the phone, and they're going to come up with this stuff, right? They're going to be like, oh, this sounds good. I'm going to start later, whatever. You have to be the client you want to attract. It's as simple as that. Like, if you want people to take action and step up and step through the fear, you have to be that type of person as well. Because energetically, otherwise you're just going to attract the wrong people. So if you are not willing to step up and step into the fear, how can you ever expect other people to do the same? Right? You got to drink your own Kool-Aid. You got to walk the talk. And I think it's super, super important. So, yeah. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, another way to piggyback that too is, you not only have to walk the talk, but you also have to stand up for yourself in ways you've never stood up before. Like, our brains are wired, have been wired for 30, 50, 60. Some people in our group are, getting ready for retirement. I get on calls and they're like, I need something to plan for my retirement. I didn't plan for it. I'm like, okay, well, you have to realize your brain has been operating with these same fears, these same habits for a while now. So the second they peek out of their box, right, and they try something new, that fear will pull them back in. That uncertainty will pull them back in. But that's why coaching is so important. This is why our clients are creating premium coaching programs, because there's millions and millions of people out there with certain issues, certain ailments, certain challenges that need a coach to help them get through what they need to get through, because all this other stuff on the internet isn't helping them because they don't have the accountability, they don't have the coaching, they don't have the support, and that fear and uncertainty pulls them back in. It doesn't allow them to complete what they know they need to complete. So it's like, it's just this cycle and this big circle that just keeps going. But if you could just step into your own right now, finish your course, finish your own coaching program, step up for yourself, like you're going to be stepping up for your clients. That's what coaching really is all about. It's when you can say something to your client that their client isn't able to say or stand up for themselves in that moment for.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So we talked about pain of discipline, pain of regret, standing up for yourself, the cost of not doing something, because we talk like pain of discipline, pain of regret can also be reworded into pain of action versus pain of non-action, or pain of inaction. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to start now, there's going to be pain of action, right? There's going to be pain of doing something new. And I talked about this in the Courage Code at HP Live, where there's 4 different types of fears, right? There's the fear of the outcome, blah, 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 blah. But one of the biggest fears that I think a lot of people are not even aware of, but is really important to be aware of, is the pain of the process, right? Mm-hmm. It is the pain of starting something new. Oh my God, is this going to work? Will I know how to do this? Will I get the right support? What if this hurts? What if it isn't comfortable? If you guys are going into a situation, or if you're getting clients to come into your world, I think it's really important to be very upfront with them about the pain of the process. We don't tell people on the phone that this is going to be easy. We tell them straight up, listen, this is simple, but it's definitely not easy, because you're going to go through a lot of your own mindset issue stuff. And also, stuff's probably not going to work out at the first time once you deploy it. So what are you going to do? You're going to crawl under your bed and hide under the covers? No. You anticipate that, just like you anticipate soreness from a workout, and you move through that, and you just keep going. But if you go into something with the intention that everything's going to be easy, that everything's going to be laid out for you on a silver platter, you don't have to do anything, you're fooling yourself, right? It's like never having worked out before, but working out now with a trainer or on your own, and then being shocked that there's muscle soreness. How is this even possible? I was lied to. My physiology is different. This shouldn't happen to me. Like, come on, man. Seriously, you have to recognize the pain of the process. And if you're not able to cope with that, then you should probably just say, listen, I'm not cut out for this. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to make lattes at Starbucks, or I'm going to work for somebody else, because being an entrepreneur is serious business. It's not for the faint of heart, right? Steph, yeah. What do you see on some of the coaching calls, even like people delaying, or what are some of the things that are relevant to this discussion that come up on some of our check-in calls with our clients?
I mean, every once in a while, I'll get on a call with somebody, and it's like deep, on an emotional level, fear, but it's over a tech piece. For example, we have people in this group that we are having to actually walk through how to even use Facebook or how to even have a Facebook page. So that's how kind of, let's say lower level of tech stuff, like the type of people that we're working with sometimes. And that causes a deep seated, rooted, I don't know what it is, fear that almost feels like that caveman fear where it's like just setting off that fight or flight response. But the cool thing is that we talk to you. So it's not like you're just sitting there spinning your wheels like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I can't do this. We get on the call, and then it's by the end of that call, they feel so much better and ready to keep moving forward. And I think that's the biggest difference of this course and workshop than any other one out there, is that we're actually helping people through that, because there is fear that pops up, just period. There will be. But it's just a matter of how much are you willing to take in your current situation, knowing, again, it's that pain of either staying the same or the pain of trying something new. Yeah. I would rather try something new and get to a better place than sit and just wallow in. I mean, some of the people that I've talked to, let's say, that are interested in this workshop, they have deep pain going on in their lives on where they are, either their income level, the amount of patients they're having to see or clients they're having to see. Some people are even hating their passion. So they had a passion and they got into this passion, and all of a sudden now they're just like, I hate it. I'm burnt out. And that's not okay. So you have to understand that and just to kind of circle back to what you said at the beginning, is you're going to do this someday. Well, the sad thing is that there's some people who don't. There's some people that literally never come to the realization, I should have, could have, would have, like Jackie said, until they're on their deathbed. That's very common. When people are on their deathbed, it's like they're not thinking about, oh, what a great thing. Like, I should have done this. I shouldn't have cared about this. I should have invested in this. I should have done more of this. I should have worked less and had more time with my family, right? So it's like you have to really wrap your head around that and then take action from that place.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally. I was just having brunch with my mom yesterday, and she is the classic example of this discussion. As long as I've known her, 38 years, as long as I can consciously remember, so let's just say like 28 years, she's always said the same thing. Oh, I got to start working out. Got to start getting active. Well, like, I can't believe how much weight I've put on. And I'm like, if I hear you say that one more time, I'm going to slap you, because it's so frustrating to even hear that come out of your mouth. Because we all know that even though I'm a health and fitness expert, she's never going to take advice from me, right? You can never help your parents. Let's just be honest about that. So if you're watching this and trying to change your parents, it's never going to happen. But even if that means like, oh, I saw this thing on Dr. Oz and now I'm going to do this, that's awesome. But it's like, I told my mom, I'm like, listen, Mom, you have to be very aware that you have a massive amount of inertia and momentum in the opposite direction. And that opposite direction, the momentum you've built, is the momentum of doing nothing. And so what you're trying to do right now is you are looking at this huge boulder, or this, you're in San Francisco, and you have your car parked at the bottom of a hill that's going up. And you're looking at this, and you're like, there's no friggin' way I can push this car up this hill. And when you think of that, it's very clear of why people don't start, because for them it's impossible to even achieve the outcome. Right? We did our whole yearly planning session the other week, and we set these very big lofty goals, but if we just focus on that, there's no way we would be paralyzed. Right? So you have to chunk it down into bite size. What do I do tomorrow morning or right now to let's say maybe I'm just going to open the door of the car. Right? How can I do that? All right. So number one, I'm going to commit to just getting up a bit earlier, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get uncomfortable and make that happen. And I know it's going to suck. I know it's going to suck. And I know it's going to suck for the first little while until the momentum builds and builds and builds to the point where the car is now at the top of the hill, it's in neutral, and you just give it a little push with your finger and it just rampages down the hill all by itself. And I think it's important, guys, to remember, like, you have to identify where you are at momentum-wise in any aspect of your life or your business. If you're coming in and you're kind of stuck in a specific spot, you just have to realize, like, man, I gotta do a little bit of work here, right? And I gotta do a little bit of work here and build momentum so that over time it becomes a lot easier. The only reason I'm in a place where I'm in now business-wise is because I went through years of trying to push that car up the hill. and it sucked, but I was committed to the vision. I refuse to live a life that most people live. I refuse. I would rather not be here at all. And so I will do whatever it takes to create the reality I want to live in. And I hope that if you're watching this, you're in the same boat, right? You have the power to choose. You have the power to create whatever it is you want in your life. And I'm telling you, desire is a really big deal, guys. If you don't have enough desire, you're never going to have the strength and the will to start pushing that car up the hill. It's so, so important. So whatever you have to do to light that fire under your ass, get somebody to knock on your door every single morning, give you a phone call to get out of bed, like I don't care. Whatever you need to do to figure that out, you have to do that, because time flies, man. Time flies. And
yeah, agreed.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Sorry, I was going to say a great example on that is when I used to do weight loss, it was, your weight loss why, right?
Yeah.
Because unless it was bigger than, hey, I need to lose 10 pounds to go on a cruise, it wouldn't work. It's not sustainable, right? So all it requires is just a little bit of discipline. And as you do that day and day and repeat that little bit of action, 30 minutes, an hour, work on this stuff, focus, just map it out and do your first things first. Do the important things first in the morning. Because if you're mapping out that hour at 6 p.m., guess what? Your willpower is now down to here. When you wake up, you have this much willpower. By the time you go to bed, it's gone. It's kind of like a gas gauge, you know. It's full in the morning, and by the end of the day, it's gone. It's not like we have infinite amount of willpower every day. And so when you just have this much discipline, one of my clients, he was hilarious. I was like, well, what's going to get you out of bed? Do I need to call you? Do I need to do something? And he was one of my premium clients. So, you know, I'll call him if that's what he needed every morning at 5 or 6 a.m. He just put his alarm clock on the other side of the room. He had to get out of bed to shut the damn thing off, right? So it's just a little bit of discipline will eventually compound. And before you know it, you're going to be this rock star. Yeah. Because with that little bit of discipline will allow that focus, will allow that ritual to be set into place, which is just habits. And then before you know it, you're going to be getting results. And you're like, damn, thank God I did that then. And I didn't wait till I thought I was ready, right?
Totally.
So, in quotes. But
yeah, so guys, how can you move your alarm clock to the other side of the room? But that's a metaphor. I'm not saying, physically it's probably a really good thing to do as well. So you need to think of, like, what is it that you need to do? And really, and this is a great time of year to really just introspect and reflect and be very honest with yourself. Am I where I want to be? If the answer is no, you need to uncover why. And you need to really be objective and very honest with yourself. Here's the goal I set. Here's my action. My level of congruence was completely off. And if you can address that and understand that you are 100% control, you're in the driver's seat. You are in the driver's seat of your life. And instead of making excuses like, life got busy, this and this and this. And listen, life is busy for everyone. You need to identify how important this is, whatever this is for you, how important that is. And if it is the most important thing for you, you have to carve out time no matter what to make it happen. For everyone who's saying life is busy, I couldn't get up, there's too much stuff going on in the day, for every person who says that, there are other people out there who have said, no matter what, this is what my life looks like. Mark Wahlberg, he wakes up at 3 a.m. every morning. He gets in a workout, gets his breakfast done. He's played 18 holes of golf before 6 a.m. Every single day. Okay? The Rock, he travels around the world with his entire gym. Now, obviously, he's in a financial position to carry his gym around, which is who knows how much, many millions of dollars that's going to cost. But no matter what, that's a priority for him. He works out every single day. He's up at like 4 or 5 in the morning just crushing it. Guys, you have to identify what is important to you. You have to make time for it. You don't find time for it. You make time for it.
Yes, otherwise, we all have the same 24 hours, right? Yeah. We all have 24 hours. Not like we can squeeze one more hour. It's what we do with it. And it's just a little bit of discipline and knowing why you want it.
Absolutely. So guys, if this is resonating with you, then just let us know in the comments what your thoughts are, what you've liked best about this conversation. If you are listening to this on a podcast or watching this somewhere else and you're interested in making 2019 your best year yet, and you're ready to step up and put away the excuses and step into the fear, and knowing that, your pain is way greater than the investment you're going to make in working with us, and that's what it's going to come down to, and you're ready to start and move forward with that, like, here's the first step you want to take. Watch the 7-Figure Health Business Blueprint. It's our free online training. It will give you a really good context of how we help our clients. And if it resonates with you, then book a call with us at the end of that training. We'll give you the link to do so. And if all is good, we'll jump on the phone, we'll figure out where you are, where you want to go, what's holding you back, and put together a game plan to get you on the right path for the coming year and beyond. So that's the first place to start. You can watch the training over at healthpreneurgroup.com/training. And for now, Steph, Jackie, thanks so much for taking the time, for sharing your insights. Hope you guys have enjoyed this one. And remember, start now or start later, but you're going to start. So get it done now. Talk to you guys later.